It can't be reversed. I mean, the odds makers are saying 3-1. The Senate is going to remain Republican, so that's not going to be reversed. And I mean, then that was the most important. And I think the most important plus of the Trump administration was that corporate tax reform. That really was, a good 10-12% of the earnings growth. 2/3 of the earnings growth this year, I think, is due to that tax reform. There's no signing of the Democrats get hold of the House that they can basically reverse that. The second thing, of course, I think is a better regulatory environment that the Trump administration has provided. Obviously the Democrats control the House. They can slow that deregulation down, but a lot of that has already been accomplished. So some of the main, points of the Republican agenda have been enacted. They can't be so to speak, shot down until the Democrats get both the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And the absolute earliest for that is, another 2.5 years on. So, I think it's mostly just, investigations, writs of impeachment, looking all over that. Some people say standstill deadlock is not the worst thing in the world, and given that the major reforms of the Republican Party have been passed, I would say there's some truth to that.
Do you think that Democrats can run on the tax reform only benefiting the wealthy, and that it was just crumbs for the? I still hear that. Does that resonate? Do you think with? With voters? Senator
Warren is going on another pitch towards what's called corporate responsibility. You guys have talked about it. Any firm with more than $1 billion has to have, basically a national charter, public control, who's going to be on the board of directors. I think they're looking at more of that runaway big corporations that I can see rather than just the tax reform. I mean, it's pretty hard to run against an under 4% unemployment rate, where GDP is accelerated to 3%, and business and consumer optimism is at or near all-time highs. I mean, you have to be very careful about that, because that's the biggest plus for the Republicans going into November.
There's a whole segment. I see some of the Twitter. There's a whole segment of the population with everything you just mentioned. They're telling me this is the most dire situation that the Republic's ever been in, and I've given up on sending unemployment numbers and GDP and stock market quotes or consumer confidence business. I've just given up. I mean, some people just it has nothing to do with those things, I guess.
No, that's a plus. I mean, Trump still is in the negative popularity range, right. And all the the elections we've had so far is a tilt towards the Democrats, which of course gives them the House, but not enough of a tilt to give them the Senate.
Obama was at 42% for most of his, at least the last 4 years, as I remember. But you saw what happened to the House and to local, in all the local legislatures and governorships and everything else. I mean, they got absolutely decimated during that 8-year period. Anyway, that could happen again. Well, that's historically what we see. Anyway, Professor Siegel, thank you. And, next time I'll make it. Next time maybe I'll use snail mail to get. But you were here.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, thanks. I didn't get to see that.
That's all right. That's all right.